How's it going, guys? It's that time again. Bungie just released this week's TWAB, aka their This Week at Bungie blog post, with a whole bunch of Destiny 2 news to talk about. They went a little more in depth into the Masterworking armor system that we have currently in Forsaken, and they explained the math behind the damage resist and how that works in Crucible as well as in PvE. They explained that each piece of legendary armor drops with a randomly selected Masterwork mod. So you randomly get Arc, Solar, or Void, and each tier adds 1% more damage resistance for that element. And of course, this damage resistance does not apply to PvP, so if you're not in your super in PvP, this does literally nothing. But if you are in your super in either PvP or PvE, it will have an effect against all incoming damage regardless of elemental type. From what I understood in the TWAB, your total maximum amount of damage resist, if you happen to have all of the exact same element and you're dealing with somebody who's dealing damage in that element, is going to be 25% max outside of your super, meaning you're not in your super. In your super, they didn't really specify what the actual max is or what the original damage resist values were, but they did say that you would never be 100% invulnerable to attacks, which is nice, I guess, but I would have liked to have been given some kind of an exact value as to how it works in my super outside of just saying it works multiplicatively, because from the way they put it, it just means anything less than 100%. Bungie also just announced the 10 winners of the costume contest, and their pictures are going to be here on screen. You can find their Twitters in the TWAB, which is linked down below in the description. I think my favorite one so far has got to be the Team of Shacks, and actually it's kind of tied with the Gaul one as well. The Gaul one had a better caption, I think, and the caption kind of made that for me. But let us know what your favorite one was in the comments below. They also reminded us yet again of the Refer a Friend program, which is still in effect, and I've already explained a little bit more about that in the previous 12 video, which I'll link in the info cards at the top right and in the description down below in case you want to refer back to that for more information on the Refer a Friend program. Now, before we get into the bugs and maintenance section of this update, I do want to talk about what we consider the Thunderlord quest. If you have heard of Ant on the 9, you've already heard about this. But if you haven't, it's the Master Ives murder quest. You have to solve his murder, and that's what this quest is for. Now, we got the first step of this quest this week. We got it from Amanda Holiday, and it was basically just filling in the pages of this book. And they did confirm that it is a 3-week time gate, so we're going to have one step of the mission every week for 3 weeks. After which we're going to be getting what I assume is the Thunderlord, and if that's not correct, then whatever it is that they give us. That being said, let's talk about some of the bugs in this game currently. The first issue mentioned here is the Lost Crypt quest, which is of course that Amanda Holiday Master Ives quest we were just mentioning earlier, and the issue here is that if you don't have a spot in your Pursuits tab, you'll actually lose the quest entirely when you try to pick it up. So if you haven't picked that up yet, obviously make sure you turn in your bounties, make sure you have a spot in your Pursuits tab because they don't currently have a way to fix that until the next hotfix comes out to deal with this. Other known issues include the Harbinger's Echo. They're investigating an issue where Harbinger's Echo Exotic Sparrow is not unlocking for some eligible players. There's also an issue with the Hawthorne's Weekly Challenge where if you don't redeem it that same week and you redeem it the next week, it'll count as that next week's reward. So you won't get to do it again that week as a way to kind of catch up. They're also investigating an issue where the 4th times the charm perk on the Warden's Law is not proccing correctly. They also gave us a workaround for the Xbox One X crashes in the Haunted Forest for the insufficient ventilation error. The workaround for this is of course to use the firewalled version of the Haunted Forest as opposed to going into matchmaking. And the last one today is the 150 RPM Scout Rifle bug. In case you didn't know, they're actually firing a little bit too slow, and they're working on a way to fix that.